On this episode of Win TV, human trafficking is not an urban legend,
How a Wakeland parent is fighting for her city and herself.
and how women's golf is dominating the course.
Win TV Live starts right now.
Live from Wakeland High School in Frisco, Texas, this is Win TV.
And good afternoon, Wolverines. Today is Wednesday, March 30th, 2022. I'm Brooke Frederick.
And I'm Josh Rashnov, and you're watching Win TV Live.
Today, we're starting our show with the serious topic of human trafficking. And in this story, you will hear a first-person account of trafficking, which might be difficult to watch. If you don't feel comfortable watching, please step outside for a few minutes. And if you need additional support, the counseling office is available for you at this time.
Here's Winston Jefferson reporting on how Wakeland is partnering with Treasured Vessels to support victims of human trafficking.
The power of social media and its reach have become weapons in the hands of human traffickers. According to the Trafficking Institute, 83% of trafficking cases in 2020 started online. Here is one woman's story and how a North Texas organization is devoted to individuals impacted by trauma from exploitation and sex trafficking.
I survived sexual exploitation. I was 14 the first time I was introduced to that lifestyle. Sold my body for money.
One of the warning signs to look for when someone is being groomed by a human trafficker is that they're developing a relationship that seems too close with someone they know solely on social media.
Parents weren't really around, and that led me to be vulnerable to like older men and drugs.
Ways that you can keep yourself safe on the internet is don't share your location, know who you're speaking to, and do not send inappropriate things, pictures. Those can be sold. Those can be used as a threat to coerce you into doing things or held over your head.
I was pregnant. I was coming off drugs, coming out of that lifestyle. That's how I found them was through the police. They helped get me placed at Treasured Vessels.
The Treasured Vessels Foundation provides intensive long-term mental health services and support for victims of human trafficking. Their program focuses on developing stability and the ability to re-enter society.
How important is mental health? It's vital. So we have so many different kinds of therapy because everything that they do is coming from a certain mental state. I mean, that's true of all of us. So every action that I have is coming from my experiences. And when they have been exploited and taken advantage of, and they never developed healthy relationships, living in a home with other women doesn't come very easily. Conflict arises and they don't always know how to handle it.
They've really helped me by walking beside me, picking me up when I've fallen, helping me with, making right decisions, giving me tools to work through some of the stuff that I've, gone through from my younger years.
An awareness project turned into a need to do more to help victims of human trafficking. Wakeland Student Council collaborated with Treasured Vessels to donate goods and time to support the cause. Student Council organized a canned food drive where 78 student donations resulted in $1,600 raised in the form of non-perishable goods, movie baskets, and gift cards. If you or someone you know is involved in human trafficking, know that there are people out there to help you and keep you safe.
So if you ever find yourself in trouble and you're in a dangerous situation, obviously you would call 911. But there is a human trafficking hotline. There also is a crisis line with Treasured Vessels that is monitored 24 hours a day. And you can call the DHS line also and receive help. Your local law enforcement is a place that you can go to receive help. They are trained to keep you safe and get you the resources that you need to leave the lifestyle.
I'm Winston Jefferson for Win TV.
Well, for Wakeland parent and former city council member Shauna Huffman, campaigning for re-election was her top priority. Garrett Bohannon reports on her fight for the city of Frisco and now how she is fighting for herself.
That I will faithfully execute the duties of the office of council member place 2.
In 2016, Shauna Huffman was elected to the Frisco City Council and served as the only woman until 2021.
What really propelled me towards it was the opportunity to serve with my community and just to serve in a way that I thought I was uniquely designed for, if that makes sense. That it wasn't about being a politician, it was more about how can I serve those who I live with and go to school with and work with.
And Shauna has served this city for 6 years, filing for May re-election until a breast cancer diagnosis changed her plans.
How am I going to do this? How am I going to fight breast cancer and run for re-election at the same time? And at first you think, well, you can do anything. You know, you can be strong. You can go do anything. And then you kind of have to start to sit back and say, what's really most important?
To say that it has been an honor to serve the city of Frisco, it just really seems lacking.
Shauna later announcing she would be resigning her seat on March 15th, telling her supporters on social media that, quote, choosing my health and my family is a choice I will never regret making.
That really became the choice for me, was that my daughters, as much time as they had spent supporting me, that they deserved for me to say, I gave cancer every ounce of my fight that I could give it for you. And so that really became the heart of the decision.
And without her hard work, without her perseverance, without her strength, I would not be the person that I am today. Our family would not be the way it is. And so I'm incredibly thankful for her.
Her strength inspiring a hashtag, strong like Shauna.
And we don't have to be ashamed of being strong in fighting this battle. We can be confident in fighting it, even on the days that I'm hurting or crying or feeling a little bit overwhelmed. I can still remind myself I'm strong and I can do this.
1 in 8 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer in their lifetime. 11% of them will be under the age of 45, and 85% of them will have no prior family history.
So if you know somebody that's fighting, fight for them. If you don't know somebody that's fighting, you will probably soon, and have the kindness and the encouragement to support them when it's their turn, because they're going to need it.
We thank you for fighting for Frisco, and now Frisco fights for you. For Win TV, I'm Garrett Bohannon.
And that fight is truly inspiring. Thank you, Garrett.
Well, women are making strides in male-dominated professions. Skylar Parkinson investigates more.
March is Women's History Month, and we're taking this opportunity to profile inspiring women who are pursuing careers in male-dominated industries. Brittany Webb is a police officer who works in Frisco ISD. She motivates young girls to choose their future career based on what they want to do and not what others tell them to.
Then we might be processing evidence. Sometimes detectives want us to do follow-ups on calls, so it kind of depends. So there's a lot of research and stuff that happens with the property unit. When my male supervisor showed up on scene and said the same exact thing, they were like, oh yeah, you're right, and we quit looking. So it does happen sometimes where you have to be patient, and once they learn that you know what you're doing, then it gets a little bit better.
Madison Harden is flipping the script for BMX racers. She chooses to pursue a sport that she is interested in and doesn't listen to others' criticism. These women are encouraging girls to chase professions that they desire and not hold back from the occupations they want. I'm Skylar Parkinson for Win TV.
And now for this week's headlines. On March 27th, the 94th Annual Oscars Award Show was held, making history. Ariana DeBose won the award of Best Supporting Actress, making her the first Afro-Latina, openly queer actor of color to win an Oscar. And another first was Troy Kotsur, becoming the first deaf male actor to win Best Supporting Actor in Oscars history.
And if you didn't watch the Oscars, chances are you heard about the slap between Will Smith and Chris Rock. After Rock made a joke about Smith's wife, Jada Pinkett Smith, Will Smith went on stage and left the audience and the rest of the world shocked, but the LAPD has now confirmed that Rock will not be pressing charges against Smith.
Major League Soccer announced that the 2022 Generation Adidas Cup will be returning to Frisco. 80 professional academies from 10 countries across the world and 4 continents will compete in a tournament at Toyota Stadium from April 9th through the 17th.
And the men and women's March Madness Final Fours are on set. On Friday, April 1st, the women's Final Four will start as number 1 South Carolina will take on number 1 Louisville at 6, and number 1 Stanford will take on number 2 Connecticut at 8:30. The winner of each game will be played on the final on Sunday, April 3rd.
Meanwhile, the men's Final Four will start on Saturday, April 2nd, as number 2 Villanova will take on number 1 Kansas at 5:09, and number 8 UNC takes on number 2 Duke at 7:49. The winner of those 2 games will play in the men's final on Monday, April 4th. And that's the latest news for now.
And Josh, who do you think will be in the final or win?
I think Duke and Kansas are going to be heading to the finals, and I think Duke will win in Coach K's final year by 5.
Yeah, and it'll be exciting to see how the rest of March Madness plays out.
And now for your Wolverine replay. Wakeland boys and girls soccer both started out with a win in their first playoff game over Wiley East last Thursday. The boys winning 4-0 and the girls winning 1-0.
And last night, both boys and girls soccer teams became area champions once again, with the girls winning 1-0 over Creekview and the boys 4-0 over Hillcrest. They will both continue their playoff run this Friday against WT White. Time and location will be announced soon.
Track stayed dominant last Thursday in a meet at Aubrey with some personal records. Osawese of Bangkok set his own personal record with a 6'4" high jump, and the girls 4x400 also set a new record. Lakeland cleaned house on Thursday, and they will have another meet tomorrow.
And girls golf dominated in districts as they were led by freshman Grace Kalina, who got an individual first, shooting a 74 on day 1 and an 82 on day 2. The boys golf team is currently competing in their district tournament.
Brooke, I wish I could play golf like our girls team can.
Me too. They've been dominating in every tournament they played in, and they have girls who consistently shoot in the 60s and 70s.
Not only that, they're led by freshmen. Wakeland Lady Golf is going to be dominant for years to come.
For sure, and Annabelle Mack has more on this sport and how these ladies continue to dominate.
Our lady golfers have been dominating the course. With record scores and multiple first-place finishes, these ladies have truly proven that women belong on the course.
This year, the golf team has done really well. I think we've all improved a lot throughout the season, and overall, I'm just really proud of how we've done.
My best golf moment was probably when I won pink out. The team won and I won individually, and it was a really exciting moment to win my individually as a freshman.
My best golf moment this year is getting a hole-in-one. That was just such a great moment to capture with all my family and friends, and I feel like it's every golfer's dream to capture that moment, and I'm so glad I got to.
With golf being a more predominantly male sport, the lady golfer scores speak for themselves.
Being a female in a male-dominated sport is definitely difficult. You really only hear about the highlights of men's golf, but I think it's good that the girls team is pulling through this year with a lot of wins, so maybe more people learn about girls dominating in golf just as much as men.
Being a female in golf to me is normal because I've just done it my whole life, but I know it is more male dominated, but to me it's normal, but I'm glad that I can be representation for other women out there that want to play golf.
I feel like I'm contributing to all the women out there who are representing this beautiful sport, and I feel blessed to be a part of that.
At their last tournament, our golfers won first place overall, continuing to prove that they own the course. I'm Annabelle Mack for Win TV.
Like golf, baseball and softball are also sports where the motions and mechanics are unique and have to be perfected over time. I talked to some baseball and softball players to hear how they perfected their art. Baseball and softball require techniques to perfect an art. Pitchers put in years of practice to learn the correct mechanics to be able to dominate their game. Junior softball pitcher Kate Pisker explains how mechanics affect the speed of a pitch.
To generate the velocity and power in pitching for softball, it all comes from our legs and our lower portion of our body, and also that comes with keeping a loose arm to create the whip for pitching.
However, velocity is not the only factor in pitching, but having a good off-speed pitch is meant to throw a hitter off their rhythm. Senior baseball pitcher Deuce Yaksic explains the importance of offering different pitches.
So an off-speed pitch is a pitch that would spins differently, moves slower, moves differently than a usual fastball. I have a curveball, a slider, and a changeup.
I throw a changeup, screwball, rise ball, drop curve, and a drop ball, and they all spin differently. So some will spin downward, some will spin sideways, some will spin up, and that challenges the batter to move their bat to the position of the ball.
In baseball, there are 60 feet and 6 inches that separate a pitcher and a batter. The average high school velocity is 85 miles per hour, giving a hitter less than 0.5 seconds to react to a pitch and decide whether or not to swing. Senior Alex Cruz talks about the batter's adjustments when facing a dominant pitcher.
Let's just kind of choke up on the bat a little bit. So normally we can hold the bat. I hold the bat about here, so I choke up maybe about a half an inch, somewhere around there, and get up on the plate a little bit and get back in the box. Just help give yourself a little bit more time, but it's nothing crazy. I mean, just the same pitch, just it gets on you a little bit quicker. So try and give yourself a little bit more time.
Baseball and softball are unique. A lot of small adjustments make big changes to make players successful. Pitching is an art with mechanics that are unconventional and challenging, but when perfected, it makes the sport beautiful. I'm Josh Rajanath for Win TV.
And Wakeland cheer is a big part of the spirit here at Wakeland. And on this segment of What's Winston Doing, we're following him to the mat to see if he has what it takes to be a cheerleader.
Okay. Good afternoon, Wolverines. I'm Winston, and welcome back to another episode of Where's Winston? Today, I will be trying cheer. Go team!
You go 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
And you do the, but like you gotta get your legs up. Okay?
Oh, okay, all right.
You go over there so I don't see. Yeah. 5, 6, 7, 8, 2.
Winston is absolutely spectacular. He's got the heart and soul for it. His jumps are just phenomenal, and overall, he's a great cheerleader.
Winston is putting forth a lot of effort. Winston could do anything he puts his mind to. Maybe a year of lessons wouldn't hurt too much.
I can't. I literally can't. Oops.
Yeah. Legs up and his back. You got this, Winston. Come on, Winston. So it goes F.
I. G. H. T. Wakeland. Let's fight. Okay, all right.
You should be strong. Be sharp. We shouldn't be able to hit your arms down. We shouldn't. Come on, Winston. Need your body.
I feel like I can do it. Oh, okay, I quit. Well, I think I'm definitely going to stick to the student section. This has been Winston for Win TV.
And be sure you're following our Instagram at Wakeland Win TV for live updates and current stories of what's going on at Wakeland.
I'm Josh Rajanath.
And I'm Brooke Frederick, and this has been Win TV Live for Wednesday, March 30th. Stay forever orange and blue, and have a great day, Wolverines.